Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Dogs. I'm Susan Allen Medium. I'm an evidential psychic medium and animal communicator. This podcast is a place to share insights into the spirit world and soulful stories of animals and what they can teach us about a life aligned with love. So grab your mug and let's dive into some magic together. Hey, Steph, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Do you have any New Year traditions?
I just do my manifestation list, like what I want to let go of, what I want to bring in, and things over which I have had no control this year, although I lived through them. Is that a good
Right.
one?
That is. I know people that do vision boards. I've actually never done one. Have you ever done that?
Tons. They're all rolled up in my closet, but then
Oh.
when I revisit them, I realize a lot of them are happening or have happened. It's just taken years. It just takes, like, I don't want to make anyone doubt themselves,
Hmm.
but sometimes it isn't instantaneous. I think we have to get through the karmic patterns
Yeah,
because we visualize what we want and we can feel what we want and we can put on vision boards what we want, but sometimes there will be blocks.
right.
But then I noticed some of the things on the vision boards, and I'm like, wow, that does look like the view in Majorca that we just visited in October. Or that is England at Christmas. All of the things
Yeah,
that I wished for that are very subtle.
but you can see them happening. That's cool to know that it works out. It takes a minute to go back and reflect to realize
Yes.
it worked out. I heard something the other day. I think it was on like spiritual TikTok. They said with manifestation, you have to think you're not creating something to come to you. That thing you want is already existing. You just
Yeah.
need to level up your frequency to be on the right plane to get it.
100%. I totally agree with that. Totally. In so many ways. It's all about how you feel and how you think. And gratitude, everybody's talking about the gratitude list.
Hmm.
Like, even if it's, I'm grateful I get 2 hours to myself today. I'm grateful my dog is okay. I took my dog to the vet yesterday, had no idea. She's like a little Napoleon Bonaparte, like just pounces and powers through. I didn't think to look in her mouth. I'm the animal communicator and I'm not communicating to my own.
But a mouth is an easy thing to overlook. I've so been in that situation.
Really? My vet is one of my closest friends, and she went like this, and the gum, she goes, oh, she's got a bunch of hair caught in here. Like, she literally took a long Q-tip and just dug around the tooth, and a bunch of hair fell out. And now I'm just syringing pure aloe vera water into her mouth. My husband's like, she rubs her mouth a lot with her paw. And I'm like, she's a pug. So I thought she was trying to get the crap out of
Right. Right.
her, but I'm always wiping her
Yeah.
face. So I just thought it's allergies. And that's because mommy's been incredibly
Yeah.
busy. This is,
Well, speaking of communicating with your animals, today we are talking about animal empaths. And I think this is a little bit misunderstood. We're not talking just people who like animals. You can say you're an animal lover, lots of people are. This is one step beyond. So here's the definition. Animal empath or fauna empath is a person with a profound connection to animals who can sense and understand their needs, emotions, and feelings, sometimes to where they can communicate telepathically. They feel a deep love for animals, find solace in their company, and are highly sensitive to animal cruelty.
wow, that's me. Yeah. Okay. So when I was really active in real estate, I went to look at a house in Calabasas and the woman was ill and it was completely empty except, wow, did she have magnificent animals, like gorgeous birds in cages. And
Hmm.
it was like peace there. So I walk into the living room and there's this gorgeous bird cage with this magnificent red bird. And there's just total peace in this house. And she had geese outside. Like she was a huge animal lover. There was a note on the door. When you open the door, my bearded dragon is loose. Like he's not in a cage, right? This is what I go through. So I'm alone in this house, and I'm like, before I even knew I had these abilities, I could have taken every pet. And I remember calling my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, and I go, I don't know what to do. This woman needs homes for all these
Oh my
animals.
gosh.
And we were literally living in 1,200 square feet, and this house was packed to the gills of stuff before we moved. And my boyfriend is like, are you nuts? Focus on real estate. He was always telling me this, do not tell anybody you talk to animals. You have a real business like that you've worked for 20 something years. Like don't tell anybody. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm losing it. Like I go into these houses and I'm connecting with other
Yeah,
people's animals. I'm supposed to have my mind on the prize, which is selling real estate. And my brain was always on the pets in the home or what they're
right?
feeling.
You can't
I
help it.
was, yeah, no, you can't help it. And I was successful as a real estate agent, and I'm thinking, how in the hell did you get this amazing amount of sensitivity and be able to be taken seriously? I don't
Well,
know.
something that you used to have to hide. Now you have a podcast about doing it.
Exactly. I hope I never have to go back to my day job because there's just too much stuff out there with me.
How did you know you were an animal empath?
Wow. Well, when I look back at the sensitivity from like a very early age and having connections with these animals, it's all the data now. Like I feel relieved when I see all the data that's out, how we're wired differently. Makes me feel like normal. Like,
It is
yeah, such
validating.
as I love audiobooks, but before bed, I don't sit and read. I sit and watch Netflix and then I shut my TV off. Not the best thing for your brain before bed unless you're watching comedy. But I saw my All Animals book from Friends Sanctuary that I love. And it's a
Hmm.
magazine. And it's like, that's what I'll grab. Or I'll look at animal videos, you know, before
Yes.
I even look at a book.
Do you think animal empaths are this way about a lot of other topics too? Like, are they just super sensitive people?
That's a really good question. This is going to sound horrific, but if a person dies, like I'm really sad that they're not in my life anymore, but I'm celebrating their spirit life because as a medium, I love the spirit world. I trust the dead people more than I trust the living.
Of course.
I love talking to dead people. I just
Yeah.
love it, because I trust them implicitly and they lead me down this beautiful path of images and their life story. But I think you come in different. You are born different. I think you notice that with your own kids, right? I think every parent would notice because I'll read for a woman and I'm like, they're directing me to your youngest child. It's a boy, right? Yes. Is this child more sensitive? Because they're telling me this child has abilities, like it'll see spirit. My son wakes up and tells me he saw grandma last night at the foot of his bed. So they help me help the living, and that's my job. So even the dead animal souls help me help their living. And in turn, every time I help somebody with their grief, another layer heals in me
Hmm.
on some level. Because the well runs really deep here. It's like I got to peel another layer off
Right?
almost daily.
Yeah.
Like I'm always being faced with something that I feel so deeply on such another level. And I'm like, I hate to say this, but it's a curse and a blessing to be a sensitive.
Yeah.
And my mother would say it.
Well, it
you
almost
know?
feels like you need more protection just to deal with the regular world.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of healing, do you think animal empaths have healing abilities with
I
animals?
totally think so. If you're on the same wavelength with an animal, and there's another level of cuckoo crazy with animals that I've experienced, like not all rescues. I don't know if you experience this, but some of the people that work at expos or do volunteer work with animals, they're another level of crazy. And you know who you are that haven't done their own healing. So they're taking the
Okay.
animal protective things to an extreme level and they focus on the injuries to the animal and they focus on the bad people that hurt the animal. You will never heal if your brain is hyper focused on what was done to an animal, how an animal was abused,
On the pain.
on the
Yeah.
pain. You won't heal your life and you won't be able to help an animal because you will constantly be brought to the depths of despair and
Right.
living in the pain of this amazing hurt. And animals don't want you to live like that.
No, and they don't want to live like that.
No, because just an example, like animals are almost like Jesus Christ. Like they forgive even if they were, and they will trust a human again, even though they were, whatever happened to them. Let's not go into the pain of what happened to them, but they will come alive again at the goodness. They will lean into the goodness and the love rather than the pain. We as humans need to do that too. We need to lean into not what was done, but how we're healing ourselves and this pet with the level of love. This is everything. Love is everything. It's highest
Mhm.
vibration. It'll heal and get rid of bad juju in your house, or it'll heal everything coming from such a state of love. That's how I work. I work in love. I work in the light. And I think 9 times out of 10, sometimes I'll carry somebody else's pain after a reading, or I'll carry that and I have to get it out of my body by taking a walk in nature or hugging my tree or doing some qigong. But 90% of the time, when I do a reading, people walk away feeling like they have been healed or they're on another level or in a different place of
Right.
grief.
Uplifted.
And I don't really want, the thing is I have had maybe 2 or 3 readings in the history of my doing animal work where someone needed to do a dump of the loss. And sometimes it's too painful for even me, but I'm trying to help them. It's been harder for me as a medium to cut through when somebody is just crying and crying and crying.
Hmm.
But I think there's always a healing. There's always like, there must be a pony. You know that story? The little kid that gets like a pile of shit for Christmas. Oh, I
It's
cursed.
okay.
And he digs and digs and digs, thinking there's got to be a pony in here. That's positivity
Sure.
in its highest form. You get it?
Yeah.
The love and the beauty is inside of us. And our pet loss and our love for our pet, nobody can ever erase that memory. It's in us.
Hmm.
And our pets don't want us to relive all the stuff.
Well, something you've said on an episode prior to this is that in rescue, when you talk to those animals, they don't want to talk
Oh
about.
God, they don't talk. No. Yeah, and there are people that are like, can you give me their backgrounds? And I go, they want to know your
Yeah.
background. And I just get nothing.
They-
And
They're
I
like, nope,
know
don't want to talk
they
about it.
stop talking. And sometimes they remain like I had a cat that I took care of, and I lived with this cat forever. And it was found in New York. It wasn't a stray. It was a Bombay, a tiny
Oh, aren't they
Bombay,
black?
but
Black
it
brown,
got
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Bombays are usually super affectionate. It was 20 years ago, 25, no, 30 years ago. So I took this cat in. I was living in Brooklyn, and this cat was never wanted anything to do with me, barely would have anything to do with my ex-husband. But we love that cat, you know? So we don't know the journey of a pet until we give it time. My friend just rescued a dog, and it was so frightened. It was dumped by a breeder in a shelter. And it took 3 weeks, and the dog's out of its shell. It's playing, it's having fun. So 3 weeks of intense love can sometimes be all an animal
Right?
needs. But it's like we wouldn't stop loving a family member if they had mental health issues. We would just do a workaround
Hmm.
somehow. And that's how it is with an animal that has great fear.
How do you explain? Because I've seen this happen and I'm always kind of in awe by it. How animals are drawn to the empaths, usually animals in trouble. Do
Yeah.
you see that?
No, it's happened. It so happens to me too. I mean, not as bad. I mean, I've rescued a baby hummingbird I almost stepped on. I felt the energy. I rescued a crow. The list goes on. In the wild, animals would just, they're building a nest and they'll look at me, and all the branches are falling from their mouth while we're having a conversation. It's just always had these odd experiences with nature. As a little kid, I'm feeding deer, and they're coming out of the forest like tons. And I was like four
Yeah.
years old. And my dad was like, Susie, be careful. And he's like in there trying to, so they don't stomp on me. But I was never afraid.
What is it? Is it the aura, the frequency that the person's putting
Yeah,
out?
they feel energy. It's all our energy. It's the energy of love. I mean, when you experience an animal, like it's this, for me, it's the same experience like some people experience when there's a newborn. But now I'm like, I need babies to hold. That would be so fun, right? Because the energetics of it, a baby, or the feel very similar to the energetics of a pet
Hmm.
or an animal. It's normal. I mean, my husband's worse than me. He doesn't know how to monitor. We were on a path, and it's in my book about the mouse, the tree mouse that ended up on the top of his really expensive Italian shoes. That I'm yelling at him, "Why would you wear those shoes? We're in a forest. Do you know how much I spent on those for
And
Christmas?"
he wore them hiking.
Yeah, he just wanted to look nice. It wasn't a hike, it was like a Christmas event, but we're literally in a forest. And there's dirt everywhere. And the little tree mouse went on top of his foot, and it stayed there. And I'm like, let me do a healing. I know it's not well. I didn't talk about that.
No.
It's in the book. It's a good story. I did a healing on it. And Todd's like, well, what do I do? It's still on my shoe. I go, it's going to leave soon. Don't worry. And then it scurried away into the tree. And I was so relieved that I knew it would be okay.
Yeah.
I think it was stung by a spider at night. He had little footprints on his suede shoes, little mouse footprints. It was the cutest thing.
So you can sense how they were hurt
Yeah,
when they come to you.
I could sense. Totally. Well, I can open up a photo. That's why I don't really appreciate when people send me photos of pets, not you stuff.
Like, is this directed at me? It opens up a
No,
whole
it's
world
not
for you.
you. It's just, yeah, because like friends will say, look at how cute this dog is. I'm at dinner. This is my friend. And they think it's funny and cute. Not for me. It's not funny and cute at all because
Uh-huh.
the minute I open the photo, I'm connected. So I don't really appreciate other people's pet photos, but I do appreciate being the observer of cute animal videos and cuteness,
Antics. Yes.
antics. But I don't want to look at people's pets when I'm not working.
No, it's like a window to
And
the
I had
soul.
to have like a friend doesn't talk to me because of it because I said you don't understand. I'd really appreciate no photos of pets, and he did it again. And I was like, at some point, you got to have boundaries when you're
Yeah.
this sensitive. I don't expect people to understand me. I don't expect anybody to understand me. My husband and I barely understand me at times. I don't expect
But
that.
that's the
I don't.
beauty of a community, though, that's into it. Like, nobody's going to open your podcast and listen this far if they don't care about animals. So that's the beauty of, an attuned community. People who listen to this episode may feel this way too. So if an animal empath is so connected, they're highly attuned to the animal world, they're super empathetic, they're super intuitive. Is there a way we can try to communicate with our animals better? Us that aren't the animal psychics, we're
I
just the
need to learn how
empaths.
to communicate with my, because all I do is love them so much, mine. Like, who knew Penny had something going on in her mouth? I mean, thank God I have like helpers, my vet. Thank God. I just give them pure love. I take care of them. I heal them. I do my hands-on work. Now my hands are on her face because now I see she's got
Sure.
tooth stuff. So all of my healing is going in her muzzle. So I would say get the help that you need when you're highly attuned and sensitive. Reach out for
Hmm.
kindness, for love for yourself. Because sometimes, like if you're like me, all my love goes to my clients' pets and all, you know what I mean? Like the healing and the
Sure.
love and the readings go to help others. And it's like, girl, help yourself first, you know?
You got to
It's
fill your
like
cup
put that
back up. Hmm.
oxygen mask on. Take the time off that you need to get your needs met, you know? I'm a big believer in self-care, like which I don't think enough empaths do.
Sure.
Like we need hyper self-care, but we always put ourselves like, oh, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll
Right.
wait.
Well, and their tendency is to rescue and nurture others, not do that for themselves.
And I'm going to just go one step further. We need healing because there was something in our childhood or a past life that we were either asked for too much and we got trained to go outside of ourselves to help others and help heal others. Whether we watched a mom or dad do that or we learned this behavior, it's also healing ourselves on some level to put ourselves first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I
We're
also
wired
think,
that way.
yeah, it gives me fulfillment,
Yeah.
even though it's very frustrating sometimes and it takes a lot of energy and I worry about these animals, but it is super fulfilling to bring home a new foster and to figure it out. So I do think in a weird way we heal ourselves as we heal them, maybe.
Hmm.
But you're right, it can be draining.
Well, it's not so much that, yeah, it's not so much like thinking of when my friend, she hurt her knee. She was so young, Rosie. And I told you they had to put a cast on her knee. It was horrible. And how do you keep a puppy friend? She's 7 months old from running all over. And I had to do it. And it was like eons of work. But she didn't need surgery because she was so young. The bone was soft. So she healed perfectly. But I was a hands-on mom and I had the time because it was so early on and the market had crashed in real estate. And that was a turning point for me because here I was heavy listed. Like I had so many listings, like even in Malibu, like a $5 million listing, and all my listings were worth nothing or half.
Wow.
And that was really the time that I really nurtured her, myself, and my abilities.
Hmm.
Because that's spirit, like showing you maybe you need a different direction when everything's turning up. weeds, you gotta turn it up roses.
Sure.
There's a lesson in it.
Well, I want to wrap up with this episode. If you can think of any examples that you've seen, I love those images where people start to look like their pets. Do you ever read for someone and they're so highly empathic with that dog or cat that like it feels like they're speaking the same language?
It's crazy, but I talked to this woman and she was like, I think my cat is licking itself because it's gained weight and it's trying to get the fat off. I kid you not.
What?
Right. And I go, we're gonna reschedule this and you're gonna take your cat to a veterinarian. And I rescheduled her because I needed her to see a vet. And they did not do what I requested, but I'm hands off because I'm not a veterinarian. I have to like go back and go, okay, no control over this because I think I'm right.
But so you don't think you, you think there's a health problem there?
I do.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. Well, it's a good reminder that an animal medium is not a substitution for medical
No,
intervention.
no. Because I told her, bring your cat to a vet and then let's regroup.
Yeah.
But how much can I do? I could just say, I've been right with veterinarians have sent people
Right.
to me and I've been accurate. And I trust what I get. You have to trust what you get.
Well, you're in the right place if you feel that you're an animal empath. And the first step is knowing you're not alone, right? We have this community and we have each other. So,
Amen.
a quick reminder here at the end when you rate, review, and share the podcast with other people, you talk about it, you send an episode to your friend. That helps us grow and to be seen out in the ether. So, if you can do that, we'd love it.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Coffee with Dogs. I'm your host, Susan Ellen Medium. I would love for you to rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. This helps everyone find me. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. From my soul to yours and from our animals to us all until we meet again.